Michael Bolton is a name that stirs strong reactions for some. He is the ultimate romantic crooner whose heartfelt ballads shaped the soundscape of the late 1980s and early 1990s for others. He epitomizes the excesses of adult contemporary music, overly sentimental, melodramatic, and predictable. But beyond the public perception lies a complex and highly skilled artist, a songwriter, interpreter, philanthropist, and performer whose 5-decade-long career offers far more than his critics suggest. Having sold over 75 million albums worldwide, won 2 Grammy Awards, and contributed to music across genres from rock to classical to Motown, Bolton's place in American pop history is both significant and misunderstood. This extended essay explores his artistic journey, vocal style, songwriting craft, commercial appeal, public reception, and enduring cultural footprint. Michael Bolton's career began in the trenches. Throughout the 1970s, he released solo albums under his birth name with modest commercial success. These records, such as Michael Bolton from 1975 and Every Day of My Life from 1976, leaned toward blues rock and folk. They revealed a raw, yearning voice, but neither album broke into the mainstream. During this time, Bolton developed as a journeyman musician, touring relentlessly and experimenting with different styles. His band Blackjack, from 1979 to 1980, flirted with success but dissolved after just 2 albums. Still, this period was instrumental in developing Bolton's vocal strength and stage confidence. While other artists found early fame, Bolton was laying the foundation for a long-term career. His transition to songwriting would prove pivotal. After writing How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, which became a #1 hit for Laura Branigan in 1983, Bolton realized that his talent might be even more powerful behind the scenes. The song showcased his gift for heartfelt lyricism and melody and, maybe even more importantly, his understanding of how to craft emotionally impactful music. The late 1980s brought the reinvention that would define Bolton's career. With the release of The Hunger in 1987, Bolton began to embrace a more polished, emotionally driven vocal style. His cover of Otis Redding's Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay marked a clear departure from his earlier work. More soul than rock, more heart than edge. His transformation from long-haired rocker to adult contemporary balladeer was underway. But it was 1989's Soul Provider that catapulted him into the stratosphere. The album was a multi-platinum success, featuring How Am I Supposed to Live Without You was honestly a definitive version that won Bolton his first Grammy and became one of the era's signature ballads. And then there's Georgia on My Mind, a bold reinterpretation of a Ray Charles classic, really showing Bolton's reverence for soul music. That's what love is all about, and How Can We Be Lovers are up-tempo pop rock tracks that, retained some of his rock sensibility. This blend of soul-inflected ballads and adult contemporary polish, well, it resonated across demographics. Bolton's ability to deliver emotionally explosive choruses truly became his calling card. What makes a Michael Bolton song instantly recognizable? Well, it's his vocal signature, that raspy, power-driven tenor with a wide dynamic range and a really distinctive tremolo vibrato. That's a big part of it. Bolton sings not just with technical strength but honestly, with raw emotion. His voice can shift from a whisper to a wail within a single phrase, often climaxing in a vocal explosion that, leaves little room for subtlety, but plenty of room for catharsis. His phrasing is deeply indebted to soul singers like Percy Sledge, Wilson Pickett, and Sam Cooke. Yet his delivery is shaped by rock's intensity and operatic control. He doesn't just sing a song, he belts it with almost theatrical drama. For some, this made his work feel a bit overwrought, but for his fans it was precisely this emotional immediacy that, honestly, created real intimacy. His use of melisma, and those sustained high notes, paved the way for a whole generation of emotionally intense vocalists in pop and R&B, influencing artists like Josh Groban, Clay Aiken, and even younger singers like Sam Smith, who, blend pop and soul with vulnerability. Though known primarily for his voice, Bolton is actually one of the more accomplished pop songwriters of his generation. His credits include, well, some pretty impressive collaborations. Forever by Kiss. That's a surprising rock ballad collaboration with Paul Stanley. And then there's Steel Bars, which he co-wrote with Bob Dylan, really demonstrating his reach into, American songwriting royalty. He's also written songs for Cher, Streisand, Kenny Rogers, Joe Cocker, and Peabo Bryson. Quite the lineup, honestly. These credits really reflect his chameleonic ability to write across genres: rock, pop, country, and R&B. Bolton is also known for reworking older songs, giving them renewed commercial life. While this drew accusations of opportunism or even cultural appropriation, it also spoke to his belief in the timeless power of good songwriting, regardless of era. Bolton's meteoric rise in the late 1980s and early 90s coincided with a growing backlash against what critics labeled manufactured emotion. His music was derided by some as schmaltzy, lacking the grit or authenticity of soul music, and too melodramatic for modern rock sensibilities. This critique reflected deeper tensions, a culture increasingly skeptical of sincerity and a music press that favored irony or edgy realism over vulnerability. Bolton's music, drenched in emotional sincerity and performed with unapologetic conviction, clashed with the emerging grunge and alternative movements of the early 90s. Yet the very thing that made him an object of satire, his naked emotionalism, also made him beloved by millions. His songs became wedding staples, breakup anthems, and vehicles for personal catharsis. His audience skewed older, female, and deeply loyal, forming one of the most devoted fan bases of the adult contemporary era. Bolton's success extended far beyond the United States. He became an international star, with massive followings in Europe, Asia, and Latin America. He toured extensively, often performing with local orchestras or adapting his set lists for regional tastes. In Italy, he collaborated with tenor Luciano Pavarotti in the famous Pavarotti and Friends concert series. In Eastern Europe, he was among the first American acts to tour following the Cold War. His music, built on universal themes of love and loss, transcended language and cultural boundaries. Even as album sales slowed in the 2000s, Bolton remained a strong live act. His tours consistently sold out theaters and arenas well into his 60s, which really is a testament to the loyalty he inspired. One of the most remarkable aspects of Bolton's career is, honestly, his reinvention as a pop culture figure. After years of mockery, he just leaned into the joke. In 2011, his collaboration with comedy trio The Lonely Island on Jack Sparrow became a viral hit. In the video, Bolton hilariously sings cinematic ballads about Pirates of the Caribbean and Forrest Gump while dressed in costume. His willingness to poke fun at his image, really endeared him to a new, younger audience. This moment catalyzed a cultural reassessment. Bolton wasn't just a sappy crooner, he was self-aware, funny, and honestly, surprisingly cool. Appearances on Saturday Night Live, Comedy Central roasts, and even Netflix's Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day special further cemented his second life as a self-deprecating entertainer. Outside of music, Bolton has made significant contributions through the Michael Bolton Charities, which focuses on supporting women and children affected by poverty and abuse. His advocacy work, including domestic violence awareness and educational programs, reflects a long-standing commitment to humanitarian causes. This side of Bolton is often underreported, but it is central to his personal mission. He has spoken candidly about how his own upbringing and early financial struggles shaped his empathy and sense of responsibility. Today, Michael Bolton stands as a living bridge between genres, generations, and cultural eras. He is, a throwback to a time when songs wore their hearts on their sleeves, and a reminder that emotional directness never truly goes out of style. At RTRP Radio, we bring you the timeless grooves, smooth vocals, and feel-good energy that real music lovers crave. If you vibe with the classic sounds of artists like Michael Bolton, you're going to feel right at home. We spin the best of R&B, soul, jazz fusion, hip-hop, and more, blending legendary tracks with the hottest underground and independent talent. Link for our free app to download is in the video description.